Your radiator properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your fan guard properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your fan properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. In my case, I do have some chips on my fan, but it's just a training truck. So you come to your belt. Want to make sure your belt is properly mounted, secured. There's no abrasion, bumps, or cuts to your belt. Your belt don't have no more than 3/4 inch of play. Got your upper radiator hose properly mounted, secured. No abrasion, bumps, or cuts. Clamp is present and tight. Upper radiator hose is not leaking. You have your AC air drive properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. The hose is not cut, damaged, or leaking. Your hot air intake properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Clamps are present and tight. You have your brake system air drive properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. The hoses and wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. You have your front bumper mount properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your hood shock absorber properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. And your hood strap properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your AC air dryer, not AC air dryer, AC compressor properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Underneath your AC compressor, you find your alternator properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Yeah, belt driven. AC compressor and your alternator belt driven. Anything in the front of the engine is belt driven. Anything in the rear is gear driven. You have your air transfer tube, your turbo, heat shield, and exhaust. All the properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Back behind your frame, you have your starter, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. This will be your heater coil, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. This is your windshield washer fluid reservoir, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. Filled to proper level, cap is present and tight. You have your frame, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal welds. You have your ABS sensor and hose, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. The hoses and wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. You have your front leaf spring mounts, your rear leaf spring mounts or shackles, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your leaf spring, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. U-bolts and bump stop, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your bottom and top shock absorber mounts, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your axle, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal welds. Right behind your axle, you'll find your tie rod, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your shock absorber, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Shock absorber is not leaking. You have your oil pan. You can check this on either side. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. Definitely want to make sure you don't have any oil leaks. So you can check it over here or on the driver's side. You have your ABS hose. Your brake hose and your ABS wire. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. The hose and the wire. Exhaust right here. It's going out to the back. Coming off the turbo, heat shield, and exhaust.
Turbo, heat shield.
And then exhaust. Alright. You have your brake hose and your ABS wire properly mounted, secured, not cut, damaged, or leaking. You have your brake chamber properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. On the front, on the newer Freightliners 2019 and newer, they have disc brakes up front, so they don't have the push rod and slack adjustment. So you want to make sure you check your brake caliper, your disc, rotors, and pads. Make sure everything is properly mounted, secured. There's no grease or oil contaminant trapped in between your rotors and pads. Your pad's not 1/4 inch or dangerously thin. Come to the inside of your rim. Make sure there's no illegal welds. Make sure it's not being cracked or broken. Make sure it's properly mounted, secured. Come to your inside sidewall of your tire. Look for any abrasion, bumps, or cuts to the tire. No illegal patches. Make sure the tire is properly seated against the rim. Come to the top of our tire. Must be evenly worn. Tread depth is 5/30 seconds for total. 4/30 seconds for DOT. Tire pressure is 110. These can't be mismatched. They can't be recapped. Must be evenly worn. Come to the outside sidewall. Check it for the same thing. Any abrasion, bumps, or cuts. Make sure the tire is properly seated against the rim. Come to our rim. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal welds, except that. You have your lug nuts and studs. All 10 are properly mounted, secured. We check for metal shavings or rust trails that would indicate cross threading or looseness to our lug nuts and studs. Make sure our rims properly mounted, secured, no illegal welds. Our hub seal properly mounted, secured, not been cracked, broken, or leaking. Cap is present and tight. If you want to check the fluid level of our hub seal, we'll take the cap off, stick our finger in, should come to our first knuckle. If not, you will add the proper oil to your hub seal, put your cap back on tight. You have your valve stem properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. Metal with a metal cap. See on this side. Any questions?
No questions.
send it to my phone. Checkmate.
Start with a general overview on this side, just make sure everything's properly mounted, secured, not been cracked, broken, or leaking. Start up top with our air filter that's coming off the transfer tube, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your fuel rail and your fuel injectors, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Fuel rail and fuel injectors not leaking. But in my case, I got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 possible leaks. On my fuel rail, probably nothing but a simple O-ring or something like that, but it's just a training truck, so it's gonna have some defects. All right, so in the back of our engine, anything that's in the rear of our engine will be gear driven. So that'll be our power steering pump and our air compressor. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. This will be our windshield wiper motors. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. The wires are not cut or damaged. This will be our fuel filter. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. The hose and the wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. Next to our fuel filter, you find your oil dipstick. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. If you want to check our oil, we pull the stick out, wipe it clean, stick it back in, pull it out. If we need to add some, we will add it right here with our oil fill tube. Make sure it's properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. Cap is present and tight. Next to the oil fill tube, you find your oil filter. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. The hoses and wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. This is your coolant reservoir. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Filled to the proper level. Cap is present and tight. You have your intake manifold. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Clamps are present and tight. Intake manifold is not leaking. You have your lower radiator hose, your water pump, and your thermostat housing. Properly mounted, secured. The water pump is in the front. This will be your thermostat housing. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. The hoses don't have any abrasion, bumps, or cuts or leaks. This will be your steering arm. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. U-joints is properly mounted, secured. There's no more than 10 degrees or 2 inches of play on the 20-inch steering wheel. You have your power steering reservoir. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. Filled to proper level. Cap is present and tight. Supply return hose don't have any abrasion, bumps, or cuts or leaks. This will be your fuel and water separator. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. This is your power steering gearbox. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. This will be your pitman arm, drag link, and your upper control arm. All three are properly mounted, secured, not been cracked, broken. Secured with castle nut and Carter keys. Carter key or Carter pin? Key.
Carter key.
All right, we have our front and rear leaf spring mounts. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. We have our leaf spring, U-bolts, and bump stop. All are properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. We have our axle. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal welds. We have our tie rod. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal welds. ABS sensor, brake hose, and ABS wire. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. The hoses and wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. Bottom and top shock absorber mounts. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Shock absorbers not been cracked, broken, or leaking. We have our brake hose, ABS wire. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You know, we got disc brakes on the front, so we don't have, the push rod slack adjuster. So we got the brake chamber, brake caliper, disc rotors and pads. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. Pads not 1/4 inch or dangerously thin. There's no grease or oil or contaminant trapped in between our rotors and pads. Come to the inside of our rim. Make sure it's properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal weld. Come to the inside sidewall of our tire. Check for any abrasive bumps or cuts to the tire. Make sure the tire is properly seated against the rim. Come to the top of our tire. The tire must be evenly worn. Tread depth is 530 seconds for total, 430 seconds for DOT. Tire pressure is 110. These can't be mismatched. They can't be recapped. Must be a virgin rated. In other words, a brand new tire. Outside sidewall and abrasive bumps or cuts. No illegal patches. Make sure the tire is properly seated against the rim. Come to your rim. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal welds. Our lug nuts and studs, all 10 are properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken or missing. We check for metal shavings or rust trails that will indicate cross thread and loosening to our lug nuts and studs. Have our hub seal, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. We have our cap. If you want to check the fluid level of our hub seal, we take the cap off, stick our finger in, if it don't come to our first knuckle, we'll put the proper oil in, put the cap back on, make sure it's properly mounted, secured, not leaking. Have our valve stem, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked, broken, or missing. Metal with a metal cap. All right. Oh, we got the hood shock absorber over here, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, and your hood strap.
She was saying something about there's a pump back there.
The power steering pump
Power steering pump.
and the AC compressor. Yeah. Those are the two things that's gear driven. Yeah, you got to remember that too. All right, come down the side of our truck. We check for any major structural damage to the side of our truck. We start with our door mirror, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts supposed to press. Tighten this weekend. All right,
It's not
make sure your
missing any
mirror.
parts, but it's loose, huh?
Yeah, it's loose. It's loose. Yeah.
That's all right. It's just a train truck.
Yeah, so we got a multifunctional light right here. This serves as a left turn signal, 4-way flash, and marker light. Properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken, amber in color, all nuts and bolts are present. Have our DOT step, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. Behind this flap, you'll find your battery box. Properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. The hose and the wires are not damaged. There's no corrosion to our battery terminal. There's no foul smell that would indicate a battery leak. It must be changed immediately. Oh, you also find your air drain cable right here. If you want to drain the air out your tanks to get the moisture and the water out of your tanks, you just pull that. You're supposed to do it like, I think it's once every week, something like that. So drain your tanks all the way down to get all the moisture and water out your air tank. Door handle, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Open and close properly. You have your in and outer door seal, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. Inside door handle, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. You have your door reflector. Your grab handles, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. What else? We don't do the in-cab test here, but anybody familiar with the in-cab test? Where you build your brake pressure up and
Yes.
all right, you do your sweep of your gauges, make sure all your gauges, your defrost and everything working. Make sure your windshield's properly mounted, secured.
How long you got so far? 11? It's gonna get the whole thing?
It's gonna take a while to send that to Facebook too.
Text message.
It's long as a text message. Yeah. But it can be done through Facebook, but it just take a while. It's such a huge file.
Facebook, if it's too long.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. Probably take about 20-30 minutes. All right, this is your registration book. This comes with each truck you get from Total. So just make sure when you get your book, you try to get it updated at least once or twice every month, because a lot of these permits, they update regularly. So you want to make sure you have your proper permit while you're out there on the road, because these are all your beer permits and everything that you need to haul beer, around the United States. So you go to your safety department and you get this book updated. You have to have this book updated, I would say at least once a month. Get to the end of the terminals and get it updated, because like I said, these are permits, they renew. You want to make sure you have your permits out there on the road in case you get pulled over. DOT asks you for your book. You want to make sure you got all your permits valid. All right, so anytime DOT pull you over, they're going to ask you for your license. Your medical card most likely will be attached to your license nowadays, depending on the state. Or you might have to just carry that hard copy. Your cab card, this is your registration of your truck. Him or her gonna ask you for this, so you can provide this to them. Just make sure it's properly mounted, secured, and it's valid. All right, behind this, gonna ask you for your insurance card, and it's gonna be on the very next page. It's your insurance card.
Yeah.
And they're gonna ask you for your registration for your trailer and your bill of lading if you are loaded. So these are just a list of all the permits you have. Like most states require you to have a permit to haul beer through it. So you got your hazmat. You don't have to worry about that if you don't have a hazmat endorsement. Just a bunch of permits is out there. Alcohol, beverage control for New York, Oklahoma. Now this must be on your vehicle in case you was over the road. But see, this is just a training truck. But this sticker must be on your vehicle. This is something dealing with New York finance or something. I'm not sure about it, but I know you gotta have it on your truck if you was over the road. And this sticker too, I'm gonna get to that. All right, so this is your state of Ohio, Division of Liquor Control. That's all it is, just a bunch of permits that you got to have. And you got to have it updated, because Total, we haul a lot of beer here. One of our main customers, Anheuser-Busch, Miller Coors, Bud Light, all that good stuff. So we haul a lot of beer here. So you got to make sure you got your proper permit. Right here's your inspection sticker. It's good for 1 year on your truck. This is your annual inspection sticker. It's supposed to be done by DOT. So just make sure you get this inspection done within 30 days of that date. It's only good for 1 year. So let's just say in November of next year, I don't get my inspection done up until December. So I got 1 month past that date to get it done. Anything past 1 month over that date, DOT can get you for that. Same thing for the trailer, so it's only good for 1 year.
Like our regular vehicles, just
Yeah.
like, okay. Same with it
So I just got
applies.
one of the different last month. All right, so this is your if the sticker stands for International Fuel Tax Association sticker. I don't know much about it. All I know it's for your fuel tax, and it's good for 1 year. It comes out in January of each year. You must have it on your vehicle by February. So right now they're about to start sending messages out to let us drivers know that next year it's time to get your new IFTA sticker. That's color coordinated by the year. Let's just say next year the stickers are blue for 25. If you're riding anything past February of next year with a red sticker, DOT is going to automatically know your sticker's expired and they're going to give you a violation.
Oh, wow.
So just make sure you get that sticker from your safety department, no matter which one of our terminals you get it from. Just make sure you get in and get it. All right, come down the side of our truck, start with our DEF tank, properly mounted, secured, not bent, cracked, or broken, all not supposed to press it. You must have at least 1/8 of a tank of DEF in your truck at all times. Anytime you let your truck get below 1/8 of a tank, it makes it start running funny. You can do some damage to your engine. And also, never put diesel in your DEF tank, because that can do what they say anywhere from 15 to 20 grand worth of damage. So if you do manage to get that much larger diesel nozzle into this smaller hole, just don't start your engine. If you do, just call breakdown. Don't start your engine. Call breakdown and tell them what happened, and then just let the fuel desk attendee know, whatever it is, the clerk know that your truck is broke down, you can't start. Because if you tell them you only put DEF in your tank and you can't move off their pump, they're gonna make you crank it up and move off their pump, because they're gonna say you blocking, the pump from other drivers from getting fuel. So let's try not to let that happen, because that's a pain for everybody. All right, come down to our fuel tank. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. We got our fuel straps. Properly mounted, secured. We have our rubber. There's no metal on metal. There's a rubber hole in our tank. So make sure you have a little rubber piece on your fuel strap. Make sure it's properly mounted, secured. You gotta have that fuel cap, and it must have a chain. Then you get some gloves. You get that diesel on your hand, man. Stay on that for days. You can do some gloves anytime you through in the truck. Alright, the fuel chain right there. It's a DOT violation to not have that chain. So you gotta make sure you have your chain on your fuel cap. Alright, make sure your fuel cap is all the way properly mounted, secured. This came about from really for drivers like me that get fuel, get the cap at the fuel line and pull off. So they decided to put that chain on there. The more than me to do it for the public regulations from the FMCSA. I haven't seen it. Oh, right here, I have a student call it the dog box, and I've been calling it that ever since. There's just some under the bunk storage. You got a release handle right here next to your seat. This is where you will find your emergency equipment, which will be your fire extinguisher, your 3 reflecting triangles, and your spare fuses. But for total, we have our fire extinguisher mounted behind our driver's seat. Our 3 reflecting triangles mounted behind our passenger seat, and our spare fuse in the upper compartment. So you can keep it like that, or you can put it in here. As long as you're able to get to it, in case of emergency or DOT action for it. Because anytime you get pulled over, they're going to ask you for the emergency, especially if they get an inspection at a waste station. All right, we're still checking the side of our truck. Make sure we don't have no major structural damage to the side of our truck. We have our trailer side skirt, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. We have our cab extender and our fairings, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. In my case, you see it's not properly mounted, secured, it's been cracked and it's broken. If you come back here, we have our cab extender mount, go all the way around. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Fairing across the top, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. We have our reflector tape, properly mounted, secured. This is our airline hanger mount right here. This is hooked to. You want to make sure that it's properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your airlines properly suspended. Your hoses can't be rubbing the catwalk. It's a DOT violation, so make sure your air hoses are properly suspended and properly adjusted. When you go to make a left or right turn, they don't snap on you. So just make sure you have them properly adjusted. This is how you would adjust them right here. You can open this little latch right here. You got 2 of them. You can slide it up or down, whichever way you need to get that proper clearance to make a full left or right turn with a trailer. Because if not, you would damage your air hose. If the air hose get damaged or come loose, then you can't move your trailer, because you have no way to supply air to your trailer tank to release your brakes. So just make sure you have these properly secured and properly adjusted when you get your new truck, because more likely y'all will be getting new trucks, because I think they're in the process of changing out a lot of the older trucks. So it's a good chance y'all be getting new trucks. Yeah. So we got our utility light, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. There's a switch in the inside to turn it on and off. Just a light to give you a little light at night when you hook it to your trailer. Nothing fancy about it. You have your electrical mount, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. You have your pigtail, your electrical cord. There's no abrasive bumps or cuts to your lines. Your lines are not cut or damaged. You have your safety latch right here. Make sure you have this little safety latch on your tab right here. This is the only thing that keeps that cable connected to this port. This is your airline storage mounts. Very important to make sure these are properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. Make sure all nuts and bolts are present. Because if not, the airlines will be riding. You can be riding down the road and your glad hand could be just dangling and get damaged, torn off, or you can lose one. Your electrical pigtail for your trailer, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. There's no abrasive bumps or cuts to your line, and the hoses are not cut or damaged. Make sure these 7 prongs are never restricted or stopped up. Make sure they got just a little grease in them just to keep you from getting caught up on the electrical mount right there. With those long prongs, without this little grease or lubricant right here, it'll be hard to kind of pull that joke out. So just make sure you got just a little grease on here. You don't want much to where you messing with the ground. So just make sure you got a little grease on here. Make sure these holes are not stopped up, because all these holes represent a function of that trailer. And I'm gonna show you that. This is your service glad head. This is your emergency glad head, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. You got your rubber grommets right here. Want to make sure these are properly mounted, secured. There's no cuts, no abrasive bumps or cuts to your rubber grommets. They're properly secured, because this is where your air leaks come from. Anytime you have an air leak on your trailer, most of the time it's going to be this rubber grommet. It's going to be pinched, damaged, or cut. And these are real easy to replace. You can get them from your trailer shop. You can stop by and get a few, just keep them in your door. All you need is a flathead or a key to pop one out and pop another one in. All right,
That's for the seal, you say? For the
the
seals?
rubber grommets right here, this little rubber piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it comes out.
It's like a seal.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's called a rubber grommet.
Rubber
Grommet.
Rubber
Yeah. You get it from the trailer shop. It's good to have, because a lot of the trailers that you might get, they gonna also have the grommets on it. They might be worn out or damaged or torn or missing, and you can't pull that
easily
trailer.
replace it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
easy to replace. Yeah. All right, you got your cabin shock, your cabin suspension, top and bottom cabin shock absorber, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Cabin shock absorber is not leaking. You got your cabin airbags, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Top and bottom mounts, properly mounted, secure. This is your bulk heater exhaust pipe, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. This pipe is not restricted, because you don't want those fumes from that bulk heater going back inside the cab on you when they sleep on you. That bulk heater is how you keep warm in the wintertime, as long as it's between 68 and 30 degrees.
34,
34,
36,
something like that. The
that.
truck will idle. Yeah. I'll find out and get back with y'all on that. But I think it's 30 and 68 or 34 and 68.
32, 34, something like that.
Yeah, I just seen it on our Facebook page the other day. Just seen it. All right. So we got drive shaft, front drive shaft. That is properly mounted, secure, and U-joints, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your exhaust, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. There's no black soot that would indicate an exhaust leak. Your exhaust hangers, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. You have your frame, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. No signs of illegal wheels. You have your cross member, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your splash guards on both sides. So when I speak for this side, I speak for that side, because for training, we only go down one side of the truck and trailer. But you do know, once you get with your trainer or you get in your own truck, you'll be responsible for the entire truck and trailer all the way around.
So water, walk around the entire rig.
Yeah, walking around the entire rig. All right, you got your front leaf spring mounts, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your leaf spring and your bushing, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your ABS sensors and brake hose, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. The hose and the wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. You have your front diff, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your front differential torque arm, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. That torque arm is just a stabilizing bar to keep that differential from moving too much when you're going down the road. So it's just to keep everything stable back here. All right, you got your U-bolts and bump stop, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your brake chambers, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have your push rod and slack adjuster. So we got drum brakes on the drive. Push rod and slack adjuster, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. If we want to check that slack adjuster, we will chalk our tires, release our brakes. Should be no more than 1 inch pull on that slack adjuster. Excuse me. All right, we have our brake drum and pad, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. There's no grease or oil trapped between our brake drum and pad, and our pad is not worn a 1/4 inch or dangerously thin. And there's no discoloration to our brake drum that will indicate overheating. These jokers will glow red. I know y'all probably heard of trucks overheating their brakes. I've had it happen to me twice, and these jokers right here will glow red.
Okay.
They will
That's
blow
how you
red.
know they hot.
That's how you know them jokers hot. They will glow red. Yep. Scary feeling, scary sight. All right, you got your top and
You
bottom
ever
out.
smell them? Were they like,
Yes.
like a burning smell?
Yes, you're gonna smell them and you're gonna feel it too because you're gonna be getting on the brakes. You're gonna feel that joker still push down the heels. Yep. So just make sure you don't be on your brakes too much going down those inclines. Your trainer will teach you how to go down the hills and stuff like that. But if him or her are not teaching you that, make sure you bring it to their attention because you got to know this because they on the
Right.
truck, they on the salary, they getting paid regardless. So just make sure you hold them to the end of the deal too. Make sure they teaching what y'all need to know. Especially when going down the hills because the way these trucks set up, if that grade says, I think the lower the number, the steeper the hill, let's just say you're going out a 4% grade and the speed limit is 45 and you got 44,000 pounds on your back. If you let your truck get past 45 for us to speed, that camera gonna come on. And if DOT or officer catch you, they gonna pull you over and give you a ticket because the first thing they gonna say, that's a runaway vehicle. They're gonna say you don't have control of the vehicle. If the speed limit is 45, you should be 45 or below. By using control braking with your service brake and your Jake brake. You got to use that.
When you
gotta
say your
use
brake, Jake brake, do you mean the retardants?
your engine brake, yes.
The
Yes,
retardants?
your engine brake, yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna hold you back because I've had it happen to me before. I've been a local driver since I've been here, and I picked up a route. Man, I picked up a load in Vicksburg, and it was a steep hill, and I had some big old paper rolls on my back, and the speed limit was like 55. I let my truck coast up to like 70, man. Ooh, they got me.
Yeah.
They got me. Safety called me the very next day. Went back. You know, of course, the cameras are rolling in the
Careful.
truck, so in the event, it's gonna record. So.
Yeah.
He called me, he told me about it, gave me a warning that time.
Because you could lose your
Because he
brakes
knew what
entirely.
it was. Yeah.
And you come off that hill, you ain't got no brakes. You can, man, that's
I was letting it coast because I knew the road, but I didn't know that the camera was set up the way that it was to just catch you 10 miles over the limit. So whatever the posted limit is, by the time you pass that particular sign, you have to be
at
10
that
miles
limit.
or less.
Yeah.
Because if you're 10 miles or over, it's going to go off. Let's just say
Right.
the speed limit 25, you pass it doing 36. Now you're 10 miles over the speed limit.
Yeah, I already be like braking
Yeah,
before I even
already
get
be-
to the sign.
yes.
So when I get to
Yes.
that sign, I make
Yes.
sure.
And be looking because a lot of the way, I don't know why they got it set up like that. You be doing 55 right here. You get to that trailer, you be doing 45. You get down there to them, it's 35.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
change just like that.
Yeah,
So
it
you
will,
gotta-
drastically, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to be.
Yeah, because when we were in Tampa, my school,
Yeah.
it's like that. We got a road where it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're going on a road like that Thursday. It's going to be like that. So I'm just giving y'all the heads up. It's going to
Okay.
change from 55, 45, 35.
I had to start like getting control of my speed
Yeah.
real quick because my trainer was always getting on me like you got a heavy foot, you gotta slow down because come
Yeah.
test day you don't want to be speeding. That's the
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying. It's bad. So yeah,
Yep.
I had to start remembering, make sure stay under the speed limit.
Mhm. Especially in these trucks because there's so many sensors on this joker, man. If you're not driving this truck safe, Total would know about it. That's the only thing they're gonna bother you about. This company, they don't do the micromanaging and all that. As long as you picking up on time, delivering on time, and ain't running over nothing to nobody, you won't hear nothing but that driver take going on with your next load. Now, if you're getting calls from the office in the safety department, that means you're not doing your job.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Other than that, they ain't gonna bother you.
So I mean it's easy. You just gotta stay on top of your safety.
That's it.
And do
That's it.
everything
Make sure
right.
you're on time. And like they said, to be early is to be on time. You got an 8 o'clock appointment, don't you be pulling in that door at no 7:45, 7:50. Because by the time you check in and get around there and bag in, that's what they count as your appointment time. So if you let's just say you got 8 o'clock at Walmart and they real
So
strict
be
about
there
that.
at 7. Just be there
At
early.
least 7.
Hour.
At least 7. Just in case there's some trucks in front of you that's getting clocked, that's getting checked in ahead of you. Don't pull up at no 7:40 with an 8 o'clock appointment and there's 3 trucks in front of you. Because by the time you get around that bag in that door, it's 8:20. You what? Late.
Right.
Late. So to be early is to be on time. And to be on
Right.
time is to be late.
Gotcha.
No, not yet. That's a suspension dump. It works something like a suspension. Actually, it is a suspension dump. It's just not in the inside of the truck. So this is how you would dump the air out of your bags in case you need to get on a low trailer or something like that. You just come back here and just pull this. It'll let the air suspension, lower the suspension so you get underneath that trailer. Yeah, that's your leveling valve right here. That's what this works off on. It's called your leveling valve. So you want to make sure it's properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. Make sure your hoses and your wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. Top and bottom shock absorber mounts, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. Top and bottom airbag mount, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. Work on our tires, check for, another thing too, you gotta know how to identify your tires in case you have a breakdown or a blowout or something. And breakdowns gonna want to know, even though they're all the same size, they just want to know which tire they replacing on the truck, on the trailer, at what time. So how you would identify, this would be your left front steer tire, this would be your left front inside, this would be your left front outside. You got your left rear inside, left rear outside, and then the same way down your trailer. So you know how to identify your trailer, with your tires in case you need to get replaced or something in case of a blowout. All right, so we come to our inside tire, sidewall, check for the bridge and bumps and cut to the tire, make sure the tire is properly seated against the rim. Come to the top of the tire, must be evenly worn, tread depth is 3, 30 seconds for total, 2 30 seconds for DOT. These can be mismatched, they can be recapped. Tire pressure is 100. Come to the outside sidewall of our inside tire. Check for the bridge and bumps and cuts to the tire, make sure the tire properly seated against the rim, no illegal patches. Come to our rim, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken, no debris trapped in between your rims, and there must be at least 3 inches of bud space in between your rims. Come to the inside of our outside tire. Check for any abrasion, bumps, or cuts. Make sure the tire properly seated against the rim. Top of the tire must be evenly worn. Tread depth is 3 30 seconds for total, 2 30 seconds for DOT. These can be mismatched, they can be recapped. Come to our outside sidewall, check for any abrasion, bumps, or cuts to the tire. Make sure the tire is properly seated against the rim. Come to our rim, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken, no signs of illegal wheels. We have our inner and outer valve still, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken, metal with a metal cap. We have our axle seal, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. Axle seal is not leaking. This is something for the shop to check, so all we can do with the axle seal is just make sure it's not leaking, because we can't check the fluid level. But if it were low, if you would hear like some grinding noise or something, you can pop that cap off and you can put the proper oil in there. But I've never had nobody to say they had a problem with their axle seal, because when they do the yearly inspection on these trucks, they do it from top to bottom. It's like a 6-hour process where they go through their truck from top to bottom with a fine-tooth comb. So anything that's wrong with this truck, the most you're gonna probably have wrong is gonna probably be a tire need to be changed, a light that went out, or you may need some coolant or oil. Other than that, you won't have a problem with the truck, with these trucks. All right, so you got your lug nuts and studs, all 10 are properly mounted, secured, and tightened. Check for metal shavings and rust trails that will indicate cross grade or looseness. Tire pressure is 100, I don't know if I mentioned that. All right, come back to our 5th wheel platform. Make sure it's properly mounted, secured, using your mounting bolts. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. This is your 5th wheel sliding rail. Properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present. These are your 5th wheel locking pins. Very important to make sure those pins are in the lock position. Because if those pins are not in a locked position, you go to move a trailer whether it's empty or loaded. The only thing to keep that trailer from coming inside the cab on you is that little bracket. You think it's gonna hold it back?
Oh no.
It's not. So
Nope.
just make sure those pins in the
break.
locked position on both sides. Very, very important.
Especially if you load it.
Yes. You got your 5th wheel pivot pins, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Secured with a Carter key. Just have the 5th wheel pivot up and down. That's all. All right, so you want to make sure it's properly mounted, secured. You got your 5th wheel release handle, properly mounted, secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. You have a button in the inside that'll release this 5th wheel release handle for you, or you can just get under here and manually use it. Sometimes I use the button. Most times I just use the handle, you know, because I just don't really trust that button, to be honest. All right, over here you have your 5th wheel
Upper and lower.
tandem. I mean, the 5th wheel sliding rail actuator, properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. The hoses and the wires are not cut, damaged,
You have
or
an
leaking.
upper and lower, right?
Where?
The actual the thing you just said.
The actuator. Oh, see,
Actuator.
it's to pull these pins in on both sides.
Okay.
That's why you got a bracket going on that side and a bracket going over here, so it pulls the pin in.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that the actuator is properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. That hose or those wires are not cut, damaged, or leaking. The other one is the 5th wheel release arm. So you want to make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken. There's no abrasions, bumps, or cuts to the hoses, and it's not cut, damaged, or leaking. Come to the top of our 5th wheel, better known as the skid plate. Properly mounted, secure, not been cracked or broken, properly greased. There's no illegal welds, no holes in our 5th wheel. As you can see, excuse me, my 5th wheel is overly greased. Somehow, I think we probably got a new shop tech or something. And he just went crazy with that grease last time. So there should not be any grease between your locking jaw and your and your shank on your fifth wheel. So when you notice, if you notice, when you get with my trailer, when you hook to it, you're gonna see it rock back and forth on the fifth wheel. It's not supposed to do that. That's because of all the grease that's in here.
Grease.
It's not supposed to have that grease in it. So you'll see
Yeah,
the
he
trailer,
loaded with grease.
you will hear it slide back and forth on the fifth wheel. It's not gonna go nowhere, but it's just because it's just too much grease. So you want to make sure you check your truck for them. Just make sure they don't overgrease you like they did me. All right. What else? Come to the back. We got our rear drive shaft and U-joints. Properly mount secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts are both present. We have our rear diff. Properly mount secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts are both present. We have our rear diff torque on. Properly mount secured, not been cracked or broken. All nuts are both present. Any holes in the wires you see, is going to be either airline or electrical. So you want to make sure your airlines are not. Don't have any abrasive bumps or cuts or leak. You want to make sure your electrical line don't have any abrasive bumps or cuts and are not damaged. What else?
The lower differentiator.
Yeah, your rear drive shaft and U-joints, your rear diff. You got your front drive shaft and U-joints, front diff. All right, come back here to the back of your truck. You got your mud flap hanger mounts, proper mount secure, not been cracked or broken. All nuts are both suppressed. You have your mud flap reflector tape, must be either on the hanger mount or the mud flap itself. See, I got it on the hanger mount over there, I got it on the mud flap over here. So you can have it either or, but you can't have, on neither. So you'll make sure you're holding. Sorry about that, but I mean,
Thank you.
want to make sure your mud flap is properly mount secure, not been cracked or broken. There's no debris trapped in between your mud flap and between 5 to 8 inches off the ground. For both sides. Sometimes you can get sticks and all type of stuff, pick up on the road, trapped in between your mud flaps. So you want to make sure you check for that. All right, you got your multifunctional lights back here. These will be reflectors, properly mount secure, not been cracked or broken, red in color. This will be your reverse light, properly mount secure, not been cracked or broken, all nuts are both suppressed, white in color. And these will be your multifunctional light. These serve as brake lights, four-way flash, and marker lights, properly mount secure. Oh, and turn signal, my bad. Four-way flash and brake lights and turn signal, properly mount secure, not been cracked or broken, all nuts are both suppressed, red in color. All right, that concludes the back of the truck. Any questions on the back? I went over a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I know.
Right. So
but
if
what I'm going over is exactly what DOT gonna look for if him or her who is me. It's what they gonna do. I don't know why the school don't teach it this way, but they just give y'all like the bare minimum saying.
Yeah, they give us the bare minimum just to get our CDLs. That's it.
This is what DOT is doing. I know it's a lot. This is what you have to know. But keep in mind that you gotta do 175 behind the wheel with your training. So you have more than enough time to do time to come back and upgrade and see the road. You have to do a written test, another road test, another bagging test, and the pre-trip. Then you get your own truck. I think they give you 5 days to go home, or you can just go right on the road after that. They're gonna either send you to get a truck, or they're gonna give you a truck off the yard. Most times they're gonna send you to get a truck because the way they got it set up, I don't know why. Let's just say you was running out of Jackson Terminal, which this is the Richmond Terminal. Your truck will be allowed.